Some dreams don't become clear until someone else sees something you couldn't. And that's not weakness. That is actually how dreams are designed to work. Another really, really cool way that this happens is when you begin to get into a community of like-minded dreamers, of people who really um, like treasure dreams. Something really cool happens. It's called shared dreaming. And this is not like you're going into someone else's dream, like an Inception type thing. Great movie. But it is more that two people connected in life somehow. I've seen this, with couples, and I've seen this with best friends, and I've seen this with a child parent. They both dream about the same topic from different perspectives. And each of those perspectives or vantage points need to be interpreted in order to get the full meaning of what is trying to be conveyed in this shared dreaming experience. If you've ever seen the movie Vantage Point, I actually had a hard time getting through the whole movie because it was like the whole movie, the premise is I think it was a murder or a shooting or something, and it keeps replaying the same event but from different vantage points. It went on a little long for me, but the concept is true, that when you come at what a dream is trying to convey to you from different perspectives, then you get the full meaning. This has happened before with me and my best friend. We both had a dream about the same topic, the same subject, the same information trying to be conveyed, but from very different vantage points. Hers was from her relationship and mine was from my relationship, but the full meaning of those two dreams that happened in the same night were it wasn't going to happen without us being in community and talking about those dreams together. And then I've seen this also happen with a mama friend of mine and her daughter. Again, the dreams happened in the same night from different perspectives, and bringing those two, when I was able to interpret both dreams side by side, it was mind-blowing what had happened. Okay, so before we jump into digging into why community is really essential, I spend a lot of time helping people interpret their dreams. And through interpreting their dreams, not only in my own life, but in the lives of those that I have helped over the years, I see huge movement into their destinies, huge answers coming from their dreams, huge healing, grief healing, the way you grew up healing. Just, I have seen it really change lives. And if this conversation is especially helpful to you, then please like it and subscribe, because that's going to help get my content out there for more people that can benefit from stewarding their dreams and learning how to interpret their dreams. Okay, so let's talk about what can go wrong when you're trying to interpret your dreams by yourself. And I've written down a few points, so forgive me as I look down, because I feel like these are so critical that I didn't want to miss them while in the flow of this video. So first point, tendency to overthink. This is a really big problem for me. I guess, you're in your own life, you're in your own emotions and the situations in life that feel overwhelming. And so these dreams come up, the symbols seem to point to an answer, and we just get over invested, and we're maybe even just too close. So when we overthink the dreams, we're missing the simplicity of the message. And that is where community really helps. I have a best friend. I have an online community. And I have just people that I see regularly that honor dreams. And they really, when I share the dreams with them, the perspectives help simplify what I overcomplicate. So that's the first one, just a tendency to overthink when you're trying to do it by yourself. Next is forcing the meaning too quickly. I have done this over and over and over again. so many times. And there's actually a little bit of value. So I'm going to play devil's advocate on my own point here. There is some value to getting meaning out of the dream right away. That's happened many times in this condensed 5 years where I've really concentrated on my dreams, where the meaning right then in that life circumstance, I glean a lot of great stuff out of it. But then oftentimes I have some dreams that have taken 4 years to actually come into play. And when the right circumstances hit, then the true meaning comes out, and it's mind blowing. Although I don't really regret what I got out of it when I first had the dream. The risk on the other side of that is that you're getting the wrong meaning out of it. Or worse, you just throw it out totally because you think it makes no sense to your circumstances. So, we'll talk more about that later. Okay, next. Next is, oh, yeah, letting the fear or urgency shape the interpretation. I have seen this happen. I've done it myself, interpreted very wrong because the dream like triggered some fears in me. It was like a trigger. It was a trigger, and that could happen in your dreams. And when I began to interpret it in the symbols, and symbols can mean one thing one day and something completely different another day. It's a real language with give and take and ebb and flow. And I have personally interpreted a dream wrong that really could have flipping gotten me in some trouble. Thankfully, I'm in community, and some pushback from my best friend was like, I don't know, Nicole, I don't think that's right. And because I trust her and I've been in community with her, it made me go back to it and then relook at it. And finally, the real meaning comes out, and I've saved myself a lot of embarrassment or maybe causing people issues in my life. I don't know. So that's the next risk. So I'll make sure to say here. So it's like you have a tendency to overthink, you force meaning too quickly, or you're letting fear or urgency shape that interpretation. I've seen this in when I'm interpreting for other people as well. I'll just touch on real quickly without names. I had this one situation where I was interpreting for a girl that really the dream, from my perspective in dream interpretation, was warning her against a love interest, but she was so close to the situation that she just could not imagine that. And then kind of took her own interpretation to stay in the relationship. And then as that played out, it really was not a good relationship with her. But that's dreams. They're yours, and you can take perspective from community, but in the end, you're going to make your own decisions. Okay. So the last one is missing context, past, present, and emotional history. And that is, you can get that yourself. There's two sides to that coin. So first, you have the dream. So you're going to understand the emotions in that dream so much more than the person that you're telling the dream to and is trying to help you with it. Additionally, though, people in your life that know your history and have done life with you can pinpoint maybe some history with you that you have blinders on for. Again, this has happened for me many times, and I've seen it for others. And we need to be in community to help ourselves get the full picture so that we get the most out of our dreams, for those dreams to push us towards our future destiny. That's what they're there for. Okay, so these are the reasons why, and warnings against trying to do it by yourself. You want to make sure that in the end, when you're interpreting your dream, it should bring peace. It should not bring confusion. So when you're finding yourself confused about a dream, and especially when it's taking your peace, that's when it's important to get in community with someone or a group of someone's to get some different perspective. So now let's talk about why community will protect you in dream communication, or I'm sorry, in dream interpretation. Community will protect you first because you might not recognize all the symbols in your dreams, and other people from different histories, from different life experiences will. For instance, really quickly, I had a dream that involved a SpongeBob movie reference. And I know of SpongeBob. My father-in-law loved SpongeBob, but I don't know that I ever watched a full episode. However, my best friend loves SpongeBob and has watched many full episodes. And she was able to bring clarity to that part of my dream that I honestly would have missed. Now, I got the other parts of the dream and I got great meaning out of it. But that SpongeBob reference was really critical. It was really important to an attitude shift that I needed. And I would have missed it had I never shared this dream with her. So symbols are sometimes not going to be properly interpreted until you get other perspectives in there. And then again, community is going to bring that emotional and historical context, especially as you do life with them, whether digitally or, because I know we all can't do community depending on where you live. Sometimes there's no value for dreams in your community and you can get on an online community. And sometimes there's going to be value around you if you just start talking about it. The more I talk about it, the more people I find that are my people and love dreams. So you do life with them and they can pick out, things that happened in your past and help you unearth the true meaning of, oftentimes when it comes to, there's old friends or old lovers in your dream, parents, grandparents, things like that, that really points to historical perspective that you need to get that dream properly interpreted. And then lastly, I have a real love-hate relationship with AI. I use it a lot. ChatGPT, I use a lot. But for interpreting dreams, I don't. And here's why. Because it's fact-based, which is great for many contexts, but for dreams, you need a lot of context. And that comes from human perspective. That comes from human lived experience that a machine, even a very smart one, is not going to be able to give to you when you're doing your dream interpretation. So although it can help sometimes in some places that you're stuck, I would never recommend it to be your dream interpreter. You need to get in community with people who know you so that they can help you see historical context that you wouldn't even know how to tell AI for it to even bring into the perspective of your dream. And let me tell you that your dreams are taking your entire life into perspective. That's how powerful they are. And that's how all encompassing. I mean, you start to dig into your dreams and you are going to see just how much context comes out in order to bring you to the place it's trying to bring you to. So here, like, come close. Here's the most important thing that I can tell you in referencing dream interpretation and community. And that is how important it is that dreams are interpreted slowly and rationally. And oftentimes with the emotions that come up in our dreams, because it's trying to push us towards a better end, our emotions can also get in the way of proper interpretation and proper forward movement on those dreams. So being rational about it and being slow with it is so much easier when you have other perspectives coming in to help you. Keep in mind that by the time you get to the end of a dream interpretation, you should be at peace with it. It should bring you peace. If it is not bringing you peace, keep digging, get more perspectives until you're at that place of peace. If you made it through to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. I love talking about dreams, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, hit the subscribe button because this channel only exists because of you. And if you want to dive deeper into your own dreams, I have a free community for that. Find the link below.